We're going to go back with Matt Smith, only because I saw this one recently yet again, and it's fresh in my mind. Victory of the Daleks was, even when I was seeing it as it aired, kind of a shrug, because I've kind of got sick of seeing them constantly. The problem with the new series is it really has overexposed them too much. When you compare it to the classic series, which would sometimes wait years, it would be years before you'd see them again in a story. Mind you, that's a 26-year gap, so it obviously makes sense they do something else. But sometimes it just didn't happen. Here it seemed like they always came back. And when you're trying to make a selling point out of your story saying they're the last you'll ever see them again, it got boring. At least this one wasn't shameful in showing them. The title obviously gave away what it was, and they were all over the promos because, let's face it, the Daleks can never truly be dead. It's like if DC actually nutted up and decided to kill the Joker and keep him dead. You know they would never do that. Too many people love the character too much, and he's an easy-go character for a threat for the Doctor. I mean, Batman. I mean, god damn it. As you can see, these Batman-Doctor comparisons really turned me into something horrible. Anyway, this story had me kind of hooked at least. I don't know why, but I think it was interesting to see this Doctor face the Daleks. Not to mention, it was interesting to see why they looked like they were recruited by Zordon. And yes, I'm aware of the Mighty Morphin Daleks meme. Trust me, I was one of the many people who made it. And the Crayola Daleks meme. I'm all on top of memes, bitch. Sorry, I need to focus on the story. It's a fascinating one. For one thing, I really love the fact that the Doctor's made friends with Winston Churchill. I don't know why, I just love that. I just love their chemistry. They instantly, when the Doctor and Amy come in and they see him, they pal around. It's great to see this. Mostly because you gotta understand the Doctor travels through time and space. Odds are there's someone around who doesn't hate his guts. And luckily we have one of the coolest men in history. Seriously, I almost considered Churchill to be one of my heroes when we were learning about the war in school. I don't know why. He just seemed like a bamf. It was a cool twist to see that technically the Daleks were in disguise, pretending to basically be small war machines designed by a doctor who would turn out to be created by the Daleks for a cover story. That's somewhat ingenious. I also love the little line that made a lot of sense as the series itself went on about Amy not remembering the Daleks. I'm not going to spoil it because again I don't want to keep other continuity out, but trust me, when they made that little detail known, I was a little curious on what the hell was happening. I also love just how the Daleks work. They managed to actually trick the Doctor into helping them. And plus, they entertained the audience by making the smartest man in the universe take a giant wrench and beat the Dalek like a goddamn hobo. Sorry, it's just hilarious seeing who is easily one of the smartest beings in the universe act like a caveman, or even worse, my father after trying to fix my car. Nah, it's actually exactly the same. With this, we see an awesome fight with, and I always wanted to say this, space fighter jets fighting an alien vessel. This one's just easy to recommend. There's so much good here. The story's good. Everyone acting's on the top of their game. And to see Matt Smith stare down the Daleks is always fun. He doesn't treat it like I thought he might have, looking at them like they're the ultimate fear, or simply looking down on them with the whole "I've killed you" in the span of about 5 years in a row so far. Not to mention all the other countless times. He knows they're a threat, but he doesn't show it, and he at least is trying to think of how to stop them before their evil escalates. well, since I'm already talking about Doc here, I might as well talk about everyone else. Like I said, Winston fucking Churchill. The guy playing him is perfect. He looks great in the role. He's obviously having fun with it. He's playing him so seriously, but with so much fun and energy that I was so happy to see him come back in Series 6. And yes, he comes back in Series 6. It's an interesting way, too. Amy also works out great in this one, too. She's still kind of acting a little more airheadish than I realized, but again, it's not like any of the others did. And plus, it's not like this is a normal situation. A few days ago, she was sleeping, getting ready for her wedding. A few years ago, she was knocking out a guy in her home while being chased by a CGI snake monster. Well, when she was a child, she was eating said alien in her back. Anyway! She's still entertaining. It's kind of weird, especially with, seeing her in later episodes where she's completely used to this insanity. Seeing her look at things kind of odd is strange. But then again, she's in one of the worst times in England's history. A very depressing, dangerous time with fear looming over their heads, literally. And plus, it's probably a little you probably would get a little starstruck meeting one of England's greatest heroes, even though she's Scottish. I stand by everything. Another great performance was from Edwin Bracewell, who was created by the Daleks as a cyborg, but programmed to think he created the Ironsides. That's the cover they go by. And the only real part of his performance that really kicks in is when he realizes he's not human anymore. And the idea that Amy's there to try to comfort him, make him feel as human as he once believed he was, and eventually towards the end realizing that maybe he can find the love of his life that was programmed in his memory. Maybe he can live a normal life. And plus, I gotta say this, the scene at the end where they let him go touched my heart, honestly. I felt happy for him. Let's move on to the Daleks themselves. It's kind of a tough thing to do. That's why I was really worried about doing a Dalek story, because here they're written well. I just can't say anything. I do like their idea. I do like the idea of them trying to outsmart the Doctor, and I mean the tiny drone ones who are using the old design we've been seeing for a few years. Their new design, I like the fact that they're bigger, and I like the colors. It just works with them. At the end, they managed to get away. I like that. I like the fact that the Doctor just didn't destroy them, so that way we don't have to deal with the hackneyed, "Oh, we were back yet again!" Dear God. Resurrection Man comes back less than these bastards. Dude, Kenny from South Park comes back less than these bastards. Fuck. But again, they're written well. I can't exactly say played well, because as much as I do love Nicholas Briggs doing the voice, he's just playing to the script, and I just don't want to say there's a huge performance. It's just how they're written and how they act. It's not to be disrespectful, but just the Dalek performance isn't exactly useful. The only time I felt like the Dalek's performance was necessary was in the episode Dalek. And no, I'm not covering that, I just don't want to. All in all, it's another good episode. Everyone's playing it perfect, the story's great, I'm never bored. And plus, it's just... the guy who played Churchill in this should play Churchill for the rest of his life, because he's just pitch perfect in any form. I'll see you guys next time, and trust me, I got something good planned.